Family. What is that? To me, it's life's greatest blessing. It's a group that dreams, laughs, plays, and loves together, and it's those whom you can always count on. Always represent not only in the good times, but they are the most precious gift. Love your family. Spend time with them. Be kind and serve one another. Make no room for regrets because tomorrow is not promised and today is short. Family is the support you will never have to pay for because come rain or shine, they will always be there to cheer you on with every one of your life goals. There's just some things you can never figure out, like the love of a family. Even when you have messed up and no one else wants you, your family will always be there for you no matter what. As a child, I grew up with a family who loved each other more than anything. I always knew that no matter what, I was going to be raised in a respectable manner and that I never had to be afraid of losing anyone. Before my parents split up, I lived in a home where anyone was welcome. We visited my Nana and Papa often, and I would go to the park to play with my family. I remember almost everything from the time I was 4 up until the present day, but everything else before that is a blur. My parents were divorced around 2006, and a lot had begun to change. While I was growing up, my Nana was very sick. It wasn't bad at first, but over the years it got worse. I didn't understand what was going on when I was little, but I did know that my Nana was sick. She was diagnosed with scleroderma before I was born and struggled with the disease until the day she passed away. My Nana was always there for anyone who needed it, even when she was weak and brittle. She always had a good sense of humor and never let the sickness get to her. I had a lot of struggles when I was little, like my parents going through a divorce when I was just 6 and my brother only 2. She never failed to teach me to pick myself up when life went wrong, and always gave me a reason to keep on pushing. My Nana was the wisest woman that I had the pleasure of knowing, and the day she passed, my life changed forever. My Nana was the most important person to me besides my parents and my brother. Never once did she doubt my abilities or the things that I was capable of doing. She pushed me to limits that no one else wanted to and gave me the courage to continue life as if nothing could ever get in my way. When she passed away, my life was turned upside down. Her death left me without something. It was like an amputation of a limb. A part of me was missing and I wasn't sure if I would ever get that piece back. Truth is, you never really do. You just learn to move forward without it. You learn to get through life without their physical presence, but to still keep them close to your heart, because nothing will ever make you stop loving them. When I found out that my Nana passed away, the earth around me shattered. I was so upset with the universe that I didn't even think about how the people around me must have felt. My Nana was very important to me, and I never thought that I would lose her before I got to accomplish the things I have. I had so much more to complete, and I just wanted her to be proud of me. I did it all because of her, and I am grateful for that, but losing her was the worst event of my life so far. That day, I remember waking up to go to school and my mom was on the phone downstairs. After she hung up, she came upstairs to come and talk to me and told me that my Nana had passed away the night before. I stopped in my tracks and toppled to the floor in tears. Why would God take her from me? From my family? Why does something like this have to happen to someone so great and so loving? I hated knowing that she was gone, but I had to pull myself together for my dad. He came to pick me and my brother up so I can go to see her at the hospice center, and all I can remember is saying goodbye to the woman that shaped me into the person I am today. I always thought that I would have many more years with her, but her time had come and I needed to accept that. After she passed, I remembered my Nana in every way possible. I took all of her pictures and put them in an album, creating a sort of shrine for her life. I needed to keep her close to me and have her there whenever I needed her. She was my guardian angel. She is my guardian angel. She watches over me as I move forward with my life and protects me as I make decisions that shape who I'll be in the future. From my experience, I learned that nothing in life is fair. I had to keep telling myself that this was for the better and that I had no reason to be selfish. I thought about how my dad should have felt, and what it felt like to have lost a mother too soon. She was sick and there was no cure. My biggest fear was that losing her would break me so much that I would never be okay again, but it was unfair of me to only think about myself. I had to learn from this experience and pull myself together to support my dad and the rest of my family through this tragedy. I also learned to move on using her wise words and to keep living my life to the best of my abilities. I tried to tell myself I'd be okay, pretending it had never happened. I occupied myself with other things to keep it out of my mind that she was gone. Eventually, I found things to fill the void, but would I ever feel whole again? My Nana taught me a lot in the time that I knew her growing up, and I will continue to remember her as the woman who became strong enough to hide her pain and live a happy life with her family. In order to learn from my experience, you must first put yourself in my shoes. I know that some of you may have experienced something similar to this, but not everyone's life is the same. I loved my Nana more than anyone and anything in the world. My parents raised me to be strong and independent, but I depended on my Nana to help me through rough patches and obstacles. I could tell her anything, and she would never tell a soul unless she thought I was in danger. She was wise beyond her words, and I want everyone to know that. I want people to know about the experiences I've had and take into consideration what it's like to lose the greatest influence you had growing up. I want them to learn about my struggle and use it to overcome their own life experiences. Teach yourself that everything will be okay in the end and that nothing can ever change the way you decide to cope with the loss of a loved one, especially when they were there for you when nobody else was.